Hello Palia friends out there, welcome to another video, and today we are going to talk about a beginner guide. It might be a pretty long video, but in some areas I wanted to add in a little more detail, and we have a wide variety of stuff we are going to talk about. Some stuff is for quality of life when you play the game, and some other things are just so you avoid mistakes that you might regret later. So I hope you are going to enjoy the video and have a lot of fun while watching, and at the end, of course, I hope that you learned something from it. Let's talk a little bit about settings. In the settings on the first page all the way down you have something called fishing cast speed. So if I have that on 0.5, the fishing rod zooms in like this, and if I have it on 0.7, it's much faster. Like, you see how fast it goes out. And I prefer to have it on 0.5. But the thing is, I would recommend putting it on a lower sensitivity, since there's certain bubbles in the game for starfish, and you need to hit those bubbles. So it's easier to get the swimmer in with a lower sensitivity, so that's something that you should take note of, that you can change it down here. Then the graphic settings, I have everything on epic, but that makes the grass have many details. Like you see, it's like it has like more details, and if you have it on low, like here's that kind of buggy zone, it gets more like this with like kinds of free spaces. So that's something you should note, because if there's a green bug in here, you can barely see it, but if it's like in like an open area with not much grass, because you have the settings on low, you would be able to see it better, right? Just as an example, I know I don't have bugs right here to catch, but just so you know. You can see your keybinds here. I hope this one works for controller as well. So if you search for stuff like the tool wheel or the emote wheel or like the housing toggle menus and stuff like that, you can see all the keybinds in here. I hope that one works for the controller with the Switch release as well. And there's a gamepad settings tab where you can put like different sensitivities for your controller in, so that you feel more confident in the game, right? Like, everyone has a different feel for those things. If it's like too fast or too slow for you, and you can change this here, so it's nice to see those. Sadly, I don't have a controller, so I can't tell you if the keybinds work accurately with it, but I'll just pray that they will put in something for controller as well. So there's two types of wheels where you can have stuff. One is the emote wheel, where you can have different emotes like waving, sitting down, or even clapping, so you can try to use those to communicate with others as well. Like, after a cooking party we always clap, or when I see a friend I run up and say hi. And the other menu that we have is the tool wheel, where you can change freely besides stuff. If you see a bug, like, put the tool wheel out and put out the bug bombs. If you see like an iron node that you want to mine, you go to the pickaxe. You see an animal you want to hunt, you go to the bow. And that's a nice way to fast switch between the different kind of tools that you can use in the game. Time to give you an overview about the in-game menus. First of all, there's your inventory. On the left side, it's the tools you have for all the different jobs. You have your skill levels down there with the medals under them. Those medals can be used after level 10. It's even standing in the description. They can be on from level 10 onwards in a skill for completing weekly challenges and leveling up. They have a cap of 2000, and you can buy unique furniture with them. And all those skill levels add up to your player level. So all the numbers you see there add up to my 648. And then you have your focus bar down here, which is your experience bonus as long as you are eating enough to keep it filled. You see a small water drop down here. That's my personality trait, so I tend to use a lot of water answers in conversations. There's different elements in conversations with NPCs, like I think it's earth, wind, fire and water basically right now. I don't know if they'll ever add more, but that's what it is for now. So that just shows what kind of answers you tend to take in conversations. On the top side you have gold. You can't really see it right now, it's behind my camera, but that's like the obvious one. To the side of that we have Renown. And then we have Palia coins. Palia coins are for the premium shop in the top right corner basically. So that's the real life money thing where you can buy skins with. And you have the accessories. Those are 2 romance pins. So basically you can romance every romanceable villager in the village. And you can place 2 of them as pins. And that's like your most treasured ones. You can put in a fishing bobber skin, a glider skin and 1 pet that runs along with you. And under it is of course the backpack that we talk about, like when we talk about backpack upgrades later. So that's all for the first page. Then we all have of course the map. That's going to be another segment as well in the video where we talk about. Then we'll have like quests. You will see like your open quests at the top, and we will have a quest, a list of all the completed quests. You have a community tab, which is basically a guild tab. You have relationships where you can see how high your friendship level and romance levels are with the villagers, and you even get marks if you completed the quests for those steps. So you can see that I completed the friendship 4 for Aina and I got the reward. I completed the romance 4 for Aina and got the reward of that. So those check marks help you to see which villagers aren't finished yet. And the last thing is the accomplishment, or basically I call them achievements. At the top you always see the weekly challenges. It's the lighter colored one, and the blue ones are like the normal achievements. They either give renown, some trophies, and even like unique furniture for collecting like bugs or fishes, or collecting like all the forageable things, hunting tier 3 magical creatures and stuff like that. So there's much stuff to be found in here that you can do. And then we have the collections tab. This shows you the emote wheel, and you can change between the pets that you have in here. And the other thing that's in here is news, and news is a very important one. If they hotfixed one stuff that was kind of bugged, like in this case we got the 2 winter wallpapers that were kind of not in the shop, like they were in the patch notes, so we got them sent in by mail, cause they should have been a reward for the winter quest line from how I got it at the end. So we got them later on with the post box. And if you write a ticket cause you miss some kind of quest reward to the official Palia support, you will get it in here as well. So that's a very important thing to check for, like if you got any new messages when the Palia support tells you they will send you something, right? You should check that on a regular basis. They'll give like small gifts like snowballs in here, and like I said, the wallpapers should have been given out for a quest and they were bugged, so they sent that in here. Always check this one. It normally has like a red 1 or 2 on it if there's something new in it, so be sure to go in if you see that. So that's all about the general menus for now. And the next on the list is the map. When you go on inside the map, of course, you see like the regions of the map, like Mirror Fields, Remembrance Gardens, Fisherman's Lagoon. You can see different kinds of house types, tavern, general store, tailor, and so on. They are marked on your map as well, and you can even see the villagers moving. On PC version, middle mouse click can place a marker, and those can be even seen from your party members. Party member markers are green, as you can see in the legend, right? And your own markers, basically this one, that's right here. And when you go out, you can see the marker's position and how far it is away. So you can run towards it if you want to mark something. If the NPCs have a quest available, you can see they will get a yellow mark on them, right? That basically says they have a quest. And there's other descriptions like in the legend. Here's the entrance to your housing plot. Over here is the entrance to Bahari. And there's the so-called stables all over the map. The stables are used for fast travel. I will speak about them in a second, but before that I'll show you another cool feature, and that's like you can mark an NPC. So we have Kenley right here, right, and he's running away from us, and you can mark him, and you can see it's like lifetime tracking of an NPC. If you want to go to an NPC for a quest or some other kind of activity, you can simply mark him as well. So it's not just marking like spots on the map, but you can mark like everything. Spots, NPCs, spots again, however you want. And you can even delete the mark. On PC it's middle mouse. I don't know what it's on Switch, but that's a very nice function. Sometimes villagers gives you like quest, right? And the quests have some unique conversations that you have that aren't in the quest description anymore after you already accepted the quest. And maybe at some point you fast click through it because you don't want to waste time, and you don't want to read what's in there because you don't care. I mean, you have cases like that, right? So what can you do when a thing like that happens? First of all, you can ask in server chat. Normally the community is very nice, and there are many friendly people who can help you. So that's the first one that you can try. The other one is like you can check out the official Discord. The official Discord has a gameplay help and quest help channel where you can ask questions, and there's enough friendly people in our official Palia Discord that are glad to help you. And the third thing is there's an official Palia wiki. It's not like 100% up to date, I guess, cause it's like from players that write it, right? But it has many different kinds of good informations, and I'm pretty sure that most quests will be like 99% accurate in there if you miss something out. And that's still like better ask for stuff before you search for hours, cause you didn't read like a dialogue. Like that's like just how it is sometimes. Like you might get an item and you don't know what to do with it, and then it's just like ask other people. That's all I can say for that. So that's something you should be aware of, and I wanted to say that like at this point when we were talking about tracking villagers and how they can like give like leads towards something, like there might be something burrowed around Remembrance Garden or something. Could be like a quest description, right? But you don't know the exact point, and when you see it, the quest might just tell you need to search for something, and you don't know where because you didn't read. So the next option I still want to show you is you have that return to housing plot that has a 30 minutes cooldown after you use it. It's basically an instant port, and you can also use it sometimes when you might get stuck somewhere. It doesn't happen that often, but it can happen, and you can also actually fall under the map. A few people can still do that while climbing on certain cliffs and stuff and trying to get up to places where they shouldn't be. So that might be a last resort in some cases, or you just say like after a long farming round, of course you don't want to go to a fast travel board and you don't want to walk home, and that's where you can just use that return to housing plot button. I won't use it right now because I want to show you something else first, and that's the fast travel board. There's a central stable in like every map, and this one is it for Kilima, and there's other stables, and you can click on it and you can teleport to every stable in the region. Basically in Kilima you can go back home for 10 gold, which is basically a piece of cake. So if your go home button is on cooldown, just go to a stable and port home again. 10 gold is really nothing, and even the fee of 25 gold to go over to Bahari, which is basically a map change and saves you much time, like for real minutes, is a very nice option available to you on these fast travel boards. When you change regions, you can always just go to the central stable for 25 gold. You can of course do that from Bahari back to Kilima as well. I will show you that shortly, that it's available, and you can go home from every fast travel board as well. So just search for the closest one available if you will want to change like maps and stuff or positions. That's Bahari. As you can see, it's a way bigger map than Kilima, so here it makes even more sense to fast travel, right? I could go like from here, that central stable, I could go back to central stable Kilima, I could go home, or I could go like to Hideaway Bluffs for 50 gold. And then I just saved the time to running from the central stable to down here at Hideaway. And now I did like a quest at Hideaway and I want to go to Coral Shores, like in the top right corner. And then I'm just going to use like 50 gold for this. And at the end of the day, it might seem much at the start, but you should always have like 300 to 400 gold with you for fast travel, because it saves you hours when you play the game for a long time. And at my point in time, I can't even live without it. Like, it would feel so slow if we didn't have those nice fast travel boards. They are a very nice addition. So that go home can always be used. You can also like save that return to housing plot if you aren't greedy about to go home and go to a travel board, but that go home works everywhere, right? Otherwise you need to go for a travel board. So we'll just use it and I'll show you the cooldown, and that's basically the end of explaining the map and how fast travel works. I can only recommend it to you. At the start, as I said, it might seem a little bit expensive, but you will get used to it very soon, I'm sure. And okay, I can't show you it, but just believe me, my return home is on cooldown for half an hour. And be sure to remember, 1 hour real life time is 1 in-game day in Palia, okay? That's something that you should remember. It always goes from 15 after to 15 after when you count like the time, and like it's not full hours in real life, okay? So let's start with 2 very important quality of life upgrades you can get while playing Palia. The first one is inside the general store, that's Zeke's general store, and in that store when you come in there's a backpack. And when you start Palia you'll only have 2 rows in your backpack, and you see mine is already pretty full right now with yeah, I guess many different stuffs, but they don't stack that high up here. It's just like one of each bug, a few fishes, and the space goes away fast while you run around and gather stuff. That's what I want to say with it. And here at this backpack you can upgrade it. You start out with 2. The third line is something that's kind of cheap. It's really not expensive, so I would recommend getting that third line very, very fast in the game, because it helps you to explore the world longer without the need to go back to your plot and put the stuff inside your chest or even sell it to a vendor. The 4th row is also still kind of budget in my view, but the 5th row can be pretty expensive, and I waited a long time before I bought this here. So that's where you can buy like the backpacks. So from the outside, that is what Zeke's general store looks like. It even has that cool sign of the backpack in front of it as a reminder. And beside it is the furniture store. That's Tish's furniture store, and in there you can go to the store as well and scroll all the way down and you will have chest upgrades. You can have up to 3 lock chests on your space. Those are basically chests that have, if all 3 are placed, just 300 storage capacity. But those lock boxes have the special feature that everything you put in there won't be used for crafting. So if you find like rare plants at the beginning or some star things, you can put them in there and they won't be used on accident while you cook something or craft something, right? So that's the use of those lockbox storages. And you have a copper storage upgrade and an iron storage upgrade. You have 8 general chests on your plot at the start, and the upgrades seem kind of expensive, but they... I wouldn't say they double like what you can put inside them, but they can expand it with the iron chest like to 10,000 storage space. And I think you started with something around, I don't know, 3,000 was I think the starting point. It's been too long. But those are very helpful, and the more you gather and run around in the world, the more you stack up on different kind of resources. So there will come a point for sure where you want to buy that copper storage upgrade and later even that iron storage upgrade, because you are just annoyed by having to sort out your storage all the time because it's this small, right? That's the point in time that will come, and then you just go ahead and save those 25,000 gold points and later those 50,000. You will get there at some point. It won't be like in the first 2 or 3 days probably, but maybe if you play much you will have like the first one or maybe even both in like 1 to 2 weeks. When we are already talking about chest upgrades, I can show you like my chest. It's like on the max level, it's a 10,000. I have all 8 of them placed. And those 8s are basically the limit. If you want to decorate a second plot, you need to remove one of your chests on your main plot and move it to your second plot, but that won't affect the overall storage capacity. So it doesn't matter on which plot you place those chests. They just need to be placed all 8 at one of your plots and you'll have that 10,000 there. That's very important to notice. And those over here are the 3 lock boxes with the 300 space, stuff that I don't want to get crafted or sold on accident. And you can even switch, like you can click on a normal box and you can switch to the safe storage box and back. So that makes switching a little bit easier. You can even go ahead and like drag like here those Bahari things like over here. And you can put them like back into the storage. That's like a fast button to switch between both of those. So be sure to be careful about this, because if you use that in the selling box, it gets very easily to the point where you could sell something from the safe storage on accident again, because the selling box has that button as well, right? You can like switch like here and back here. Be always sure to look at the color around the box, because the normal box doesn't have that golden color that the lockbox have. Like that has a very bright color in my eyes, and that has a dark color. Like that's the difference they have. So when you first get to your plot, you will notice a few things. There's a small kind of sign in front of your house that's standing right here, and I destroyed it with an axe, but you can keep it. That's like a house sign. It looks like a little broken down, and some of you might think that it's a cute thing. So if you want to keep that, don't destroy it. It's destroyable, and don't even try to test out. Yeah, it can be destroyed. Another thing you might notice when you first enter the plot, as a difference to my video, there's stones and trees all over the plot at the start, and the trees even come in different sizes. And the thing is, those default trees and stones are on every plot that you have. So every plot has those, as long as you don't destroy them on even one. So if you destroy those on your main plot or your second plot or whatever, they are gone on all. So the problem with that is we can't make them respawn right now, and there's no decorations called stones and different tree sizes. You can just replant trees in one size right now. There will probably be an update later on when the game develops where you can place trees, stones, bushes and stuff like that again. But for now I just want to remind me that if you want to use them as decoration on your plot, please be careful which stones and trees you are going to cut down for resources. Cause you can always go outside into Kilima and get stones and wood there. So it's no need to be very hectic about deciding which ones to cut. Another thing I want to say is that you can't sell furniture on purpose. You can see it here in the furniture tab. Like every furniture crafted item cannot be sold. That's something that's very good, but with other things you need to be very careful, cause in front of your house is a box, this one, and that's shipping bin. Basically it's a selling box. Everything you put in there will be sold every 30 minutes. So if I put the worms in there, I see I get 200 gold and I don't need to go inside the city to sell those. So be careful that you don't put stuff you want to keep there on accident, cause you can put in stared bugs, stared fishes and like everything else beside furniture and quest items. So just so you know, that thing is for selling stuff you really want to sell and make gold of. Be careful what to put inside of it. Then we have the mailbox. In the mailbox you get like Zeki coins. If you bought something in his shop once a day, you get reminders from quests, and those letters have even rewards and other quest items attached to them. So be sure to check your letterbox on a regular basis and take out the quest items and the gifts that you will get from the villagers. One thing that you should take note of is that there are certain stared bugs, stared fishes and stared meals. And if you have one of those star ones, you can place them like on the field. Like that's a ladybug, a princess ladybug placed. Then we have a chimmerfin, which is a fish. They have many different sizes depending on what kind of fish and bug you have. And there's stared meals. But in case of stared meals, you need to be careful not to eat them and click place, and you can put them on the ground as well. So you can use bugs, fishes and dishes as furniture and place them around your house. And a good example of this is basically my restaurant museum, where I'll give you a fast sneak peek of what you can do with placing furniture and dishes in the game. You see I have a restaurant here with many dishes. I have a whole fish museum with every fish that's in the game right now 2 times. And on the other side of the restaurant I have a bug museum with every bug that's currently in the game at least 2 times. So that's what you can do with those, and you need like star dishes, star fishes and star bugs to even do this. Let's talk about jobs in general. Jobs in general are on the down left corner in your inventory, and up above you can see all the tools that you have for the jobs. In my case it's all XQC tools basically, so the highest available. You will start out with normal ones, then upgrade them to copper ones, iron ones, and at the late stage it's exquisite ones which use flowwood and pallium, which are kind of harder to get. And down below you have the skill levels, and every job has like a skill master or job master I call them. In mining it's Hodari, and you can see it as you go over the skill, right? So that's very nice for you to as a beginner to look to who you need to go for to get new receipts when you level up a certain kind of job or skill. So Hodari for mining, Badru for gardening, Rev for cooking, Aina for fishing, Hasian for hunting, Auni for bug catching, Ashura for foraging, and Tish for furniture making. That's the NPCs basically. And when you reach level 9 you are able to buy the last receipt. So till level 9 with every level or every 2 levels you'll get like new receipts that you need to buy with gold at those traders. So at the beginning you should visit them regularly and choose like wisely what you need and what to get. They sell crafters, new recipes to craft stuff. They sell you better version of tools, and those better version of tools can be very critical in some cases. Like with an axe, you need an iron axe to be able to cut large Flowtrees and trees in general, so that's a very important one. And with the mining one, you need at least a fine pickaxe, so basically an iron one, to even be able to mine pallium. Otherwise, your equipment won't do that stuff. So those are very important to upgrade in the beginning, in my view. And the fishing rod also helps you a lot to keep like the fish on the line and not lose them. The other ones are okay and of course give you a bonus, but those three are in my eyes the three tools that have the most impact while upgrading. So in my eyes, it's best to like try to level like all jobs to level 10. Cause with you basically have all the different kinds of recipes available and can decide on those. And the other thing is from level 10 on you get weeklies that you can do, which give you skill medals, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a moment when I show the trader shops. And that's for now all about that skill window. So let's take a look at the shop from a job master, and we are going to Auni. He's the master of the bugs, and as you can see, you can buy different recipes for smoke bombs which help you with catching bugs, and you can buy belt upgrades from him and even some unique items, like the Buzzy Jar, for example, allows you to track rare insects for 15 minutes. That's a very nice one, and that helps you catching probably many of the start bugs later on if you are gonna use it. I used it very often and I like crafting those. They have much value. And if you are like in late game, you are used to getting those materials very easily. At the beginning it might seem like it's an expensive item to you, but at some point you will realize how much value this Buzzy Jar has. And I will talk more about this Buzzy Jar in another bug catching video. So let's go to Hasian and show that shop as well. He has like the arrows that decide like the damage and effects that you do on creatures, and he also has the receipts for the bows, and he has something called a flare arrow, which is nice for marking stuff. Like if you're standing somewhere and you shoot it on the ground, there's a flare that marks like a spot, and you can call out rare plants with this, or you can even call out your position, Flowtrees, and some other stuff with these flares. So those are very nice. That's a thing that to be called out in a shop, because I think they are very useful in a game like Palia, where you depend on the community a lot. And he also has the same thing like Auni had. It's called a Hunter's Horn, and this one tracks creatures, rare creatures, for 15 minutes. So it's like the Buzzy Jar in the hunting version, right? And there's one thing to note about these: you can only activate one at a time, so they don't stack, okay? So if you activate another one, it will delete the one you used before. And you get all the receipts till level 9. So at level 9 you normally get the last receipt at a trader, a job master. In this case it's probably the exquisite bow, and after level 9 you'll get those skill medals. And those skill medals, you can save those up to buy unique furniture. Every job master has unique furniture. They might even add more for skill medals at some point. So how do you earn those skill medals? After you reach level 10 in a job, you'll talk to like the person, and they tell you that you've graduated kind of, and after that you'll earn for every level you make in a skill medals, and you get weeklies that are in the accomplishments. And if you fulfill those weeklies, like mine notes together with other people, hunt creatures together, if you complete those, you are getting the medals up on top, and it's very nice to do those on a weekly basis, so you can grab those nice little unique furnitures from the job masters faster. So that's just something that you should be aware of. Every trader has those kind of receipts for their own job. Like in case of Hodari Rich is running there, he will sell you like bars and pickaxe upgrades. And another thing to note in this case, that you need at least like a fine pick, which is an iron pick, to gather pallium, which is a late game ore that you can collect in Bahari. And in case of foraging, the Flowtrees need like a fine axe in most cases as well, cause you won't be able to chop like big trees at the beginning, and I think you needed an iron axe to change that. Like there's very big trees, and those, if I remember correctly, aren't choppable with the standard and the copper axe. So that's something you should take note about. And the last thing you should be aware of when we talk about tools is that you have a circle around every tool, and that's basically the durability. And if that durability gets pushed to 0, they will downgrade a level. So in my case, if that would happen, I would be back to iron, and I would need to spend resources to upgrade them again. So if you already upgraded your tools to copper tools, it's very important that you take note of the durability, cause the resources at the beginning are very important for you, right? You don't want to upgrade it back again, cause it might seem expensive to you. So before this basically runs out and has the durability on 0, what you can do is you can go inside the forge from Sifu and Kilima village, and you can repair it for gold if you really need to. I'll never repair for gold, I'll be upfront. All you are going to use those repair kits. You can use craft those repair kits in your crafting bench at home. I'm going to show you fast that that you can craft it there. We are going fast back to the house. I hope it's not that long of a loading time, but I'll just show you what they cost. And it's really just like, I think it's 5 planks and 1 copper bar for 20, so that's not that much. We'll go faster here. Like, here it is. The repair kits 20 are 5 planks and 1 copper bar, so you just need basic crafters to get those, and it saves you money, so it's up to you if you want to use either repair kits or gold. Like I said, I always use repair kits. Just be aware of that you don't want your tools to downgrade. That's like a horrible experience if you do it on accident. So the best passive income in the game is basically your garden, which can have up to 9 soils. As you can see, one soil is 3x3 and the whole thing is 9x9. And every hour, basically 1 hour in-game is 1 hour real life is 1 day in-game. And the plants grow like every hour in-game this way. And after they've grown, they can have like wheat on them, and you need to pluck that. If you don't pick that wheat up, the plant won't grow. And normally you would have also to water the plants, but I have a field that doesn't need watering right now. That's the crop bonuses, and I will go further into crop bonuses like at another time. At the beginning, just make sure to go like back to your plot every hour, water all the plants that need watering, get the weed away, and try to get those soils as fast as possible. Since it's a passive income, you can go out and like harvest other stuff and do stuff, come back the next hour, and they will grow up, and you can harvest them and even sell them for gold. So that's the biggest passive income you have right now in the game. And like I said, I will make another video to like garden plans for certain combinations on the soils and the crop bonuses. So I'm going to link that later under the video. Be sure to watch that if you are interested in knowing more about it. For the water can, you can like just use this pool. That's why I have that field placed. Or later you can even buy a reel with points. That's just some options, but you need to kind of water them, right? And I can go now and put like seeds down again in the places where I just farmed the rice. You can see me doing this. I'll just have it on my quick bar and place it. And now you see that bar over them, and that's how I'm going to water them. With my can, I can do it like right in the middle of those plants. But at the start you need to like water every single plant in itself. So the higher that your watering can gets, the more plants you can water together. Like at the end it's basically 9. If I put it like on this potato in the middle, all the 8 fields around it would get water if they need it. And the soils that you can buy up to 9 points, you can buy those at Badru since he's the master of gardening in his store. And now we are going to talk about crafters fast. You can have up to 30 crafters in the game. One thing to take note of is that cooking stuff isn't taken into that crafter limit. So there's basically certain like pieces that count towards that crafter limit. You can see here that seeds maker. So seed makers basically sustain my seeds that I need for my garden. But I also have many more placed since I process potatoes to sell those potato seeds. That's worth it. If you had like apples or maybe tomatoes on your fields that you want to sell, a gemmer would be better. But I will say more about what's worth and what's not worth in my eyes in the garden video. So I won't explain that further in this one. Just know that there's a seed maker and a gem maker. There's an advanced sawmill that you need to put your wood inside so you can get planks for crafting and building. There's a glass maker for glass and bulbs. There's a forge for bricks, ceramic and bars. You need those bars from those forges to upgrade your tools as well. There's a fabric maker that can produce leather, silk and fabric. There's also glowworm farms. You can't buy glowworms anyway, and you need to produce them to catch all the epic fishes that are currently in the game. So those have a high value for me personally, and you can just buy the morals from Zeki to put them inside to produce those glowworms. They are very cheap at this general store, so if you later want to get more glowworms, that's a good way of doing it. You could even place more of those since they the glowworms are way more expensive than the moral put in, so you could say it's kind of worth it. There's also that preserved jar that I don't have placed. That's like something to make apple marmalade or conserved potatoes. And the cooking stuff doesn't count towards the crafter limits. Those are kind of different, but there's the worm farm. The point about the worm farm is you can buy worms at Zeki's general store. That's why I don't have that one placed, because it doesn't have that high value for me. And one thing to notice, you have a basic sawmill and smelter, and later on when you level up your jobs, you have like a heavy sawmill and an upgraded forge as well. So you can upgrade some of those crafting stations later on. Just be sure to keep that in mind. And you can buy the receipts in the jobs, like every job has like some kind of crafters or nice receipts that you want to get. So be sure to level those up to make progress in this category. I want to go a little bit deeper into 3 jobs, and the first one is fishing. You can fish with no bait, with worms or with glowworms. Glowworms is basically for very rare fishes, epic fishes. And you see those bubbles are there to catch start fishes that you can place in your plot as furniture. And I'm going to throw it in, and the swimmer needs to be like in the field of the bubble so I can catch a start fish. It will blob 3 times and then there will be a noise and I can pull it in. And you see those green bars, and the swimmer, not the fish, should be inside the green bar. Always look at the swimmer, because some fishes are way, way bigger than those 2 green bars. And you can see when he jumps it gets orange. That means you shouldn't pull him in, and I'm just playing around at this point in time with him as a showcase. When he jumps, don't pull, and when he's in the water you try to pull him in. And when the bar is full at the bottom, you are going to have a perfect catch, which will give you bonus experience. That's something you should look out for as well. So it's very important to keep the fish inside those bars. With like a normal fish, you saw that I could play around. But if the fish gets rarer, the bar decreases faster and you even lose more bars than when they are out of the water and you still pull in. And now I'll show you how I would do it in a real situation where I don't explain it. I'm always just looking at the swimmer, and that's basically the trick behind fishing. To keep the swimmer inside those 2 green bars. And the second job I want to talk about is hunting. When it comes to hunting, there's stuff to notice, and that's that the bow upgrade just lets you shoot farther. So the damage from the bow basically comes from the arrows, and which arrows you use is a deciding factor that way. There's some endgame arrows called dispel arrows, cause what you see here are just tier 1 huntable creatures, but there's 3 tiers. The first one is basically a basic one, the second one is a version with more HP, so you need to put more hits in, and the third one is a version that has special abilities, and you need those dispel arrows to basically negate those abilities. The magic Chapaa can split up into 4 and it gets stunned. The Zerno can teleport later on, and the Mujin can go invisible, but I won't go into Mujins further in this video, cause they are better to be farmed in a group. So I'm just staying with like the basic Chapaas and Zernoks at the beginning. What helps with the tier 2 animals are those slow arrows that you see here, but since there's no tier 2 animals like in the beginning area, I won't talk much about those and just show you what those arrows I have in hand can do. That's the beginner basic makeshift ones, and those are tier 1 Chapaas, and as you can see, tier 1 Chapaas can be one shot with those arrows. That's something you should use at the beginning to hunt Chapaas and level your hunting, cause you don't need to run after them. Why aren't you hitting those Zernoks? Well, he won't die with one shot, so you need a second one. That might look easier in the video than it is to get that second hit in, but that's just cause I played the game much, right? If you have good aiming skills, it might not be a problem, but it's still easier to just search for more Chapaas and give them one hit and then collect the loot till you are able to get the second arrows, which are the standard arrows. And the standard arrows are used on those Zernoks, and they are one shot with those. You see, he didn't need a second hit. They aren't very expensive either, so you could even go Chapaa hunting with these. There are some areas where like Chapaas and Zernoks spawn, and it might be annoying for you to switch between the arrows all the time, so just keep in mind that the level 2 ones are for Zernok, and the makeshift ones that just went empty for me are for the Chapaas. If you want to hunt Zernoks, a very nice way is to make a rotation at Whispering Banks. And like here at Mirror Fields, Leafhopper Hills, Reflection Fields, and around Chapaa Crossing are many Chapaas and sometimes even Zernoks, as you saw as well. So that's what you need to know about hunting. The arrow makes the damage and not the bow. So for bug catching, that's the third job I want to show you. There's some shiny bugs out there, as you can see this one, and if you catch those, they can be placed as decoration inside your house. So always look out when you see like a shiny bug, if it might be a rare one worth catching, and if you don't look out for them early, you might even scare some away or miss them. So another thing is you will start out with that standard smoke bomb, but if you throw that, I need like a bug. Okay, wait. I need that one, that's an epic one. that gives you silk. That's kind of a good demonstration. There's like rare and epic bugs that give you silk, and the Princess Ladybug is one of those, so be sure to catch those. But what I wanted to show actually right now is when I throw a bomb, oh, I hit him. I have too good aim. When I throw it beside it, it gets alarmed, right? That's like it's trying to run away, and if I don't hit it for too long, it will just go like poof. Like there it disappeared, it's gone. But if I do it with the sneaky smoke bomb, that's the second bomb I think you can get, and you throw it beside them, it doesn't matter if you didn't hit them, they don't get alarmed. So that's why I always prefer the sneaky smoke bomb over the standard bomb in all situations, and it's not that much more expensive to craft at your home plot. And then there's like another bombs that I'll just tell you about for late game. There are certain types of dragonflies and even some other things like the rainbow butterfly, and those bugs are very fast when they fly away. So to make them slow down while flying away, you might have some sticky smoke bombs with you if you want to catch one of those, because they can be very tricky to get without those and can easily disappear when you aren't careful enough and don't hit your bombs. So backcatching is all about like that precision when you aim and throw it at the bug. Now it's time to talk about the villagers. So for the villagers you have that relationship menu, and there's some villagers where you can just level friendship up to level 4, but there's also villagers that have friendship and romance. And now we are right in front of Tish, and when you chat with a villager you will see the hands, that's the friendship symbol, and the heart, that's the love symbol. When we chat with a villager they will get a friendship bonus. That's the hands coming out, and if we flirt with a villager, that's only available after we reach friendship level 4, before we can't start a romance, we'll get those heart points up. So it's important to level friendship and romance, that you need to talk, that you go and talk to the villagers. This resets like every hour real life time, because every hour real life time is 1 day in-game time, right? So you can do that like every hour, and it's always gives you kind of points. To start a romance you need, like I said, friendship 4, and you need to give the villager that you want to start the romance with a box of chocolate. You can buy that at Zeke's general store. That's just as a small intro, where you probably won't get there that soon, but I think it's nice to know. I don't know if the game has an introduction for it. You can also try to up your friendship if you give the villagers some stuff. There's some stuff they like in general, but there's also like their weekly needs. And you can see like with Ashura, he wants a silver selm this week, and if I give them stuff from the weekly needs, the bar from friendship fills up faster. Since I have everything maxed out, I don't need to do that, but as a beginner, if you think you might be able to get one of those items and you don't treasure them as much and they don't seem important to you, you might think about giving them to the villagers. Stuff that you shouldn't do in this case, to be honest. I wouldn't give them stared fishes or stared bugs here. That's something to look out for. Don't give them stared stuff. And there's some stuff like pallium or flowwood that are very rare. Heart drop lilies, starry cloves, that's some very rare stuff that you find at the beginning, and that stuff you should keep, just to name a few. Like, just be careful that you don't give them very expensive stuff. So in Tish's thing, we don't know what her weekly wants are. How can we change that? We can click on that box with the question mark. And she's probably going to tell us something that she needs to craft more furniture. At least that's what it feels like. Then we go inside here again and we see she wants sapwood plank. But it can also happen that Tish doesn't tell us about like her weekly needs. She might also tell us about like what her brother Ref needs. Am I blind? there he is. She might also tell us what Ref needs and the other way around. Like sometimes a villager doesn't tell you about their own weekly ones, but about the weekly ones of others. So it's important to go around and like to talk to all the different villagers at the start of every week to see what kind of special things they want. Also, something I need to add at the start, when you have like only level friendship level 1 with a villager, you will only see one of those weekly ones. With level C to 2, you will have the second available. With friendship level 3, you will have the third available. And with level 4, of course, you will have the fourth available. And the devs intend to upgrade the friendship level later. Cause at friendship level 4, of course, you don't need the gift really anymore right now, since you already kept it out. But they will increase that cap later on. That's I'm pretty sure they have that in mind with how they put this inside the game, right? And to give you a few examples, which kind of gifts you can always give to villagers, because of course you can give them other stuff besides their weekly ones. In case of Tish, she likes to make furniture, and you can basically give her leather. That's like something you can give her, and she thanks you, and that also increases the friendship. For some villagers, it's kind of obvious what you can give them, like you can bug catching bombs can be given to Aunish since he loves that and he's the job master for it, and for Asian it's also like you can give him arrows. But for some of the other villagers you might need to figure out what kind of stuff you can give them in general, because if you can't fulfill the weekly ones because they might be too rare or you don't even see that many at the beginning at all, you can just try to give them like some stuff that you have available and can easily farm and is accessible to you, right? So that's all about like gifting and villagers for now. The next thing on our list is focus. Focus is something that is increased when you eat like food. Like every different kind of food gives different kind of focus points. The more complex dishes of course give more focus points. At the moment when I do this video, what my community and me do is cook like chili oil dumplings every week. So that's basically our focus food. And it's very easy to make in a group. And so you'll try to eat this to keep the bar at least like full enough for you to do something. And when you earn like experience from a skill, you lose like focus bar, but the experience you get while your focus bar has stuff in it is like increased. And even further with the 100% focus bonus that's like at the end of the description. Which I got by spending Renown at a shrine, and I will talk about that like after we finish like that focus and cooking session. So just to show you that in fast, you can see it on the top left corner, and when I pick up this rice right here at my plot, you see that bar like going down, right? And I'm getting bonus experience for every rice I'm going to harvest. And that's just how it's going, right? So you saw we had like 700 and now we are down to 596 after we harvested all the rice, and that basically gave us bonus experience when we harvested the rice for gardening. That's what focus basically does. So as long as your focus bar is full, you can level all your skills even faster, and if you increase the focus bonus at the shrine, this bonus is even higher than at the beginning of the game. So that's why if you want to increase your skill fast, you need to eat something. So what can you do? At the campfire you can grill like meat you got from hunting, or you can try gathering those red mushrooms and grill them. That's like some very basic things, and if I remember correctly, a pretty easy to make recipe at the stove should be here the hearty vegetable soup, cause it just needs those morels that you can gather in Kilima, It needs spice sprouts. Spice sprouts can be gathered at mirror ponds in Kilima. The mushrooms are basically at the, I think it's called Whispering Banks. That's like on the right side of the map. And you can grow the vegetables to make this one at your plot. And if you later on go into cooking parties, a thing that many people like to make is those chili oil dumplings, and the recipe, to be honest, seems bug when I see it like this. But down here you can see it, like it needs spice sprouts, meat, it needs tomatoes, some wheat, rice. For this one you need pepper and oil. Then you mix it and then you have chili oil dumplings. So you normally do this in a group, and there's cooking parties in the official Discord. So when you want to take this seriously, you can like go ahead and search for a group that makes dumplings. Just look out what you can do there, or maybe even ask people to help you with cooking, right? That's the easiest way to keep your focus bar full. Like I said, having that focus bar full helps a lot with leveling the skills and getting farther ahead in the game, like at a faster pace. Right now we are at the Phoenix Shrine to talk about Renown. Renown is earned while leveling up, developing relationships with villagers like friendship, completing quests and completing accomplishment. Like you can see it in relationships. For certain levels you'll get like Renown, and for certain quests you get Renown. For accomplishment, arc achievements, you get often Renown, and you use that to level at shrines like the Phoenix Shrine right here, the Dragon Shrine, which I'll show you after, and you can get writs in the City Hall. To get to the Phoenix Shrine you need to cross the bridge, go up the stairs and take the first right into like a long corridor. You can see it behind me, the long corridor. And then you'll arrive at this nice looking Phoenix Shrine. You can go in front of it and you can use 100 Renown right here. And if you use it, it upgrades the focus bonus that you can see at the bottom of focus. I already explained focus when we were doing that small cooking and focus explanation on my plot before we got to this point, so I don't think I need to do it again. Just be sure to not cap that Renown, and if you have like a few hundred points, or maybe you even go every 100 if you want to be very tryhard about it, it increases that focus bonus up to 100, and that means you'll get like more experience as long as you have focus when you level the skills and do stuff. So always try to keep the focus bar filled up with eating food, and try to get up your focus bonus and your overall focus as fast as possible, right? So the second place where you can spend your Renown is the Dragon Shrine at Magi's Hollow, north of Chapaa Crossing. It's like in the top right corner of the map. And we'll move there cause I like to walk towards this. This place feels very nice. And you can see that dragon stature from afar and water comes out of it. And then you go up those stairs and you arrive at the Shrine of the Dragon. And in front of it you can use 100 Renown to up your overall focus till you reach that 1000 focus points. So for every 100 Renown you could basically run here to up that cap till you reach that 1000. Just be sure to not let it cap out. I mean, in my case, I know in the video it's 1000. But I don't have anything to spend my Renown on, cause there's nothing else for me to do. I maxed everything out, but at the beginning those Renown points were hard to come by. And it was much farming, doing quests and pushing those villagers to even get like all the shrines max. So just so you know, be careful that you don't cap it and run regularly to the Dragon Shrine or the Phoenix Shrine. Or like buy writs at the end. And the third option to spend your Renown is in the City Hall in Kilima Village. and you can buy RITs here. Those RITs allow you to expand your housing space. At the start you have like just a small space of your housing plot available, and with RITs you can expand it till you have the whole place, and you just need to do that one time at your starter plot, and then those RITs will be available on every other plot that you will purchase or get after. Also here you can see how much the last crafting license cost me, and you can buy rooms for your house here, later on a gazebo, and even your main houses, like the harvest house is the main house, and the other stuff up above is stuff that you can add to a house. So that's a small overview over the city hall and RITs. There's stuff like Flowtrees in the game. Those are trees that have like a purple color, and when you hit them they get health back. And it's common sense to call out those Flowtrees. Like here someone said Flowtree left from the library, and that's where I went for that cut. So if you see one of those trees, it's common sense to call them out in English. They are called Flowtrees. You'll wait a little bit till everyone who wrote "on my way" is basically at the tree, and when you can like confirm that everyone is there, you shop it. I'm doing this video in streamer mode, so the names of the persons aren't shown, but normally you see the names of the persons above the heads. That's just cause I don't want to have anyone in here with their in-game nick, right? It's just a showcase for you with how it works. And this flow tree was a nice showcase for another thing. I mean, we called it out and we all hit the tree and it regenerated. And the reason why we did it is because everyone who hits that tree basically got the loot. So I got that flow infused wood, and everyone who hits the tree and picked up the loot also got the flow infused wood. Which means if you mine together with a friend, if you hunt together with a friend and stuff like that, everyone who got a hit in got the loot. That's very important to know. And there's one thing that's very nice to get called out besides those flow trees, and that's in my eyes bugs if you have them in star. Some of the bugs, even if they are blue, are very hard to get, like the Gossamer whale moth in star if you want to place it in your house, the spotted mantis, the raspberry beetle. There's something called dragon juvelfly, which spawns in front of Pavel mines in Bahari. There's a fairy mantis, a beetle on the other side, on Tamala's side, and the one that most people seek out because it's very pretty is the rainbow butterfly. So if you see any of those blue or epic bugs and you know it has a star, just be kind, call it out in your server, but be aware people might run past it because they didn't see it or don't read it and might scared. So you need to call it out, but be prepared to throw your bomb at any given time when someone comes close to it, because it might get spooked and go away, and you don't want that to happen, right? So if an accident happens and you called it out, just go for it, because it's better than no one getting it. There's the request tab in the game, where you can request items and other players can give you. That's a pretty nice feature. There's one condition for requesting these items. You need to have them in your inventory after you logged in. So if you have that stuff in your storage, you can basically grab it, put it in here. After you go to request, and as you can see, there should be... Is it here? There it is. There's the flower I just put inside my inventory, the Dari cloves, and now I can request it. And let's do it with another one, just as an example. Like I'm putting that pine cone down here. That pine cone wasn't in earlier. So I'm going in here and there's the pine cone. So if you have that thing in your inventory and storage, you can... request it, but if you don't have it there and can put it inside your inventory, you can't request it. The second thing is that you should notice you can't request star materials, just normal ones. They might change it at some point that you can request everything you found at once, but for now just make sure that if you want to request something on a daily basis that you have at least one piece of it inside your inventory that you can put inside your storage. The other rule is you can only request 4 item slots at a day. That's why there's 4 black things up here. And if I wanted to have like plant fiber, I would click that and request it, and now someone can give me plant fiber, and you can do this with all the 4 slots and then it stops. I'm just going to do this right now as an example, requesting 80 plant fiber. Okay, the last one doesn't even want to do it. There it is. And now you can see I can put a 5th in there. And the second tab is basically what other people request. The community is very nice and friendly, so you can request many things in here. Just be aware that some stuff is so rare or endgame that you will hardly get someone to gift it to you, and you might have to search it for yourself. And if you want to have like star quality stuff, you need to search it for yourself 100% of the time. And what also helps is sometimes you need to like send a message in the server chat, cause people don't always look in there, and if you write like in your server, there might be one nice person that helps you out with the item you are looking for. There exist certain situations in the game where you might get stuck. One is if you fall or glitch inside some kind of region in the world that you aren't supposed to be in, and the second one happens while cooking. It's kind of rare, but it can happen, so just be aware they exist, and I'm going to show you how you can like get out of those. And I'm going to make a vegetable soup, and let's say I'm stuck right here, and then I open the server chat and I write in /unstuck. And I put that on enter and it teleports me. And I could do that even again if I would be still stuck. Now it will port me to another position. So you can use that more than once. So that's something you should definitely note. Because this can basically rescue your crafting recipe, right? If I would be stuck in front of the stove without being able to do anything, the timer would just run out and I wouldn't be able to chop those mushrooms that I am supposed to put in. So if you cook with friends and you get stuck, or you are in a position where you can't get out anymore in the world, just know there's that one command /unstuck that can rescue the world for you. And a daily routine once a day that's very helpful for you and gives you a chance to get rare furniture and even plushies in the game is Zeke's General Store. In Zeke's General Store, if you buy something every day, like you can just do it like once a real life day, right? Not in-game day, but real life day. Once every 24 hours, basically. If you buy something, you will get sent a lucky coin in a letter. So that's something you should do every day. Like buy like, I don't know, 5 mushrooms for example. Or whatever you feel like needing most. He has some cooking ingredients that you can't get with crafting, like flour, butter, egg, oil. That's all cooking stuff down here that you can craft right now. So just buy whatever you feel like needing that day. And if you bought something from him, you will get sent a lucky coin to your post box at home. And what can you do with those lucky coins? You can put them in your lucky box. And you'll get those balls out, and that are basically RNG balls. It depends on luck what you get out of there, but you can get fireworks out there. As you can see, bombs, worms, and furniture. Like I got a Sunrise Valley table right now. That's a set that's exclusive to those balls, and if you are very lucky, you'll get a plushie out of there. I'm not very lucky right now. I don't get a plushie set, no streamer luck for the videos. But that's like the real endgame in the game. You should just go for like buying stuff at the general store at the beginning. And now I'm showing you while it's the real endgame. Cause one of those coins, if it's not like the daily one you can get with just buying something from Zeke's general shop, costs you 10,000 gold coins. Here it is. One lucky coin is worth 10,000 gold coins. And if your RNG is bad, you are making 10,000 gold coins into 55 gold rice seeds. Or 50 gold onion seeds. And now you really get the meaning of it. I just used 100,000 gold to only get a valley, sunrise, oval table, and the rest in endgame from those is useless to me. So at the beginning you might be happy if you have like those 3 coins from the shop and you get something out of it. But at one point it's like the endgame furniture that you want to get. So just be careful to avoid buying these early. They aren't worth it as long as you don't have everything else in the game. So the only thing you do to get them at the start is once a day buy something at Zeki and let him send you the lucky coin, and when you feel like it you can use them, but never buy them for gold at the beginning. They are freaking expensive, and like I said, it's the end game. And another daily routine is the so-called Chapaa pile. The Chapaa pile is a wooden pile on the map, like this, and you can loot it. You can collect it once a real life day. And it has the same position for everyone, so everyone can go like here to the side of Leafhopper Hills and loot this one. So if you don't know where it's for the day, you might ask in server chat or in Discord and people call it out. So why is that Chapaa pile once a day so important? In this Chapaa pile you can get rare furniture receipts that you can't get in any other way. And also at the moment while I'm recording this, there's a winter event going on and you have a chance to get winter decorations out of them with their receipts. And there's also no other way to get them beside having luck in an RNG Chapaa pile. Cause it's basically RNG, you can get stones out of it, wood, worms, many basic stuff that's not worth anything. So I'm not even sure if it's possible for me to collect all the winter decorations from it, since there's no pity system in it. So don't feel sad if that pile trolls you a ton. But that's also a point why I would recommend going for it every single day, since you don't want to miss even one chance to get like those cute winter decorations or special receipts out of it, right? So don't get sad if you get nothing a day, right? I wish you best of luck. At the end of the video, I just want to say that I hope that you have fun doing quests, exploring the world of Palia, and that you have fun like later on decorating and even in the endgame of the day. It's a big world and the community is very friendly and nice, so I hope you enjoy it, and I also hope that the video wasn't long enough to scare you. I know it's much input, but I wanted to have like a few details in there that if you encounter certain problems that you'll be able to fix it. That was what I had in mind when I did the video. So I hope you all like the video. If you want more, you can subscribe to my channels. I do videos in both German and English. So that's something to notice, and I hope you have a nice day and also a nice Christmas and maybe even Switch release. See ya!